What's up, Black and White Entertainment fans? It is John Matrix, and I'm coming to you with another video here, folks. In today's episode, man, we're going to be talking about Rian Johnson and Star Wars once again. Is this trilogy actually really happening this time? I mean, Star Wars The Last Jedi came out in, if I'm not mistaken, December of 2016. Is it something like that? And Kathleen Kennedy said that they were going to make a trilogy. Last Jedi comes out. It gets destroyed by the fan base. Of course, you know, the Shield media, they love the movie. The movie was an absolute disaster, if you ask me. And then after that, Kathleen Kennedy kind of disappeared. Lucasfilm, for the most part, kind of distanced themselves from Rian Johnson, any talk about his trilogy. The only person that actually brought up his trilogy was Kathleen Kennedy, and that was years ago, folks. His trilogy was announced back in 2017, and yet, ever since then, Star Wars Disney has announced a lot of Star Wars projects. Not one of them had anything to do with Rian Johnson, okay? Now, just recently, you know, they announced a whole bunch of things, really, and Rian Johnson wasn't attached to any of these things. It's kind of funny, you know, how you have the Rian Johnson, so say Star Wars fans out there, and they keep saying we want to see his trilogy, but yet there's been no evidence whatsoever that his trilogy is going to get made. Until now, I guess, at least according to this one person. Her name is Saria Wilson. She recently had an interview with Rian Johnson, and she wrote here, "You guy, I just got to chat with Rian Johnson for the last hour, and it was so much fun. He is the best." And she actually ends up showing a picture of her and Rian Johnson right here. It says, "I'm still grinning." Okay, whatever. But this is the meat and potatoes of this thing right here, okay? She goes on, she talks about that Reylo was a real thing. It was romantic in Star Wars The Last Jedi. But when you go to the rise of Palpatine, it wasn't romantic, even though they had that kiss. It was weird. There was no plan in place for this trilogy whatsoever. But then she drops a bomb here when it comes to the Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy. Now, Rian Johnson has been on record before, a few years ago. He said, "Yeah, I'm still working on my trilogy. It's still in development." Then he kind of altered his tone a little bit, talking about Lucasfilm is going to have to decide what they want to do and whatever. And based on what Lucasfilm has done, they have pretty much unofficially kicked this trilogy to the curb. But now she says this. She says, quote, "I'm just going to post this now because I can see that I'm going to get a lot of requests. Yes, Rian Johnson's trilogy is still on. No dates or timetables because he has other projects going on, but it is still happening. That is all I know about it." So this obviously came from Rian Johnson himself. So to me, man, this isn't really any new news, if you ask me. Now, this actually could have came out to be a distraction from the Gina Carano fiasco and the absolute disaster that Lucasfilm made themselves look like in handling the Gina Carano situation. So now I guess they're trying to shift the focus back to Rian Johnson. Is this trilogy going to happen? If Disney was smart, they would get far away from Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson is a pariah in the Star Wars fan base. But you know what, folks? At this point, I want it to happen. I want Rian Johnson's trilogy to happen. And you want to know why? It's not because I actually want to see the movie, because I really do not actually care to see this movie. I want to see this movie fail. I want to see this whole entire trilogy fail. Let's just focus on the first movie, okay? Because let's say if he actually does make his trilogy, his first movie, and it bombs so hard at the box office because many Star Wars fans do not like Rian Johnson. They just don't. Because he's actually come out, he's attacked the fans. He had said very, very vile things about the fan base. If that first movie fails, folks, that will give us content for years to talk about. And one thing that I do enjoy talking about the failure of Disney Star Wars here, because they brought all of this upon themselves. Lucasfilm still hasn't officially said that Rian Johnson's trilogy isn't happening. They won't even mention his name. Bob Iger, Chapek. I haven't ever heard them mention the name of Rian Johnson. They will mention the other Star Wars stuff. But Star Wars is in such a bad spot right now. We just need to let it all die, man. Let it all die. Let the past die, as Kylo Ren said. Disney, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They really, really are. If they actually do produce the Rian Johnson trilogy, then you're going to have the SJWs celebrating, but yet they're not actually going to go out and support the movie. They're just going to sit behind a computer screen on Twitter and say, hey, so happy the Rian Johnson trilogy is happening. And yet they won't actually go out and buy a ticket to watch the movie because SJWs don't buy tickets. They don't go to the movies. They just sit behind a computer screen and cry. Now, on the flip side here, us real Star Wars fans, we're definitely not going to go see this. This movie will get the Solo lost money treatment. I truly, truly do believe that is the future of the Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy if it ever happens. It won't make it past one movie, but please, Lucasfilm, make it happen. Make it happen because the fandom menace would absolutely love to see this movie fall on its face. If you think that Solo lost money, you ain't saw nothing yet. You haven't seen anything yet, folks. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this, Black and White Entertainment fans? Yet another Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy rumor. This is just kind of routine now. I don't think it's anything new and special because it's pretty much coming from Rian Johnson. Disney, Lucasfilm, they haven't really said anything about his trilogy. Until then, I won't believe it. But Saria Wilson, hey, props to you. You got an interview with Rian Johnson. He told you his trilogy was still happening. This is nothing new, folks. But make it happen so it can fall flat on his face. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Entertainment, and we'll catch you next time.